How strong is Darwin Watterson?
Darwin Watterson. In a universe where rulers of physics are suggestions and the laws of reality get rewritten every Tuesday, one creature has done the impossible, ascended from a common household fish to a fourth wall-breaking powerhouse with the potential to unravel existence itself. His name is Darwin Raspin Caspin Ahab Poseidon Nicodemus Watterson III. But
that's his name for real? That's his full name? What's up with these characters and these long ass names?
His name is Darwin Raspin Caspin Ahab Poseidon Nicodemus Watterson III.
Aspen, Caspin, Poseidon, Nicodemus, what?
Ahab Poseidon Nicodemus Watterson III, but you can just call him Darwin, the fish who became a god. Darwin is a walking paradox of power wrapped in orange scales and a heart too big for the laws of physics to handle. Born a goldfish, raised by chaos, and chosen by the narrative gods, Darwin isn't just strong, he's the backup engine of reality, the second son of fiction, whose power doesn't scream.
What the heck just happened on my screen? He wears pants? What episode was this? This don't even look right. Do y'all see that? That is disgusting. These are the images that give you nightmare fuel, bro. Why did they animate this?
He's the backup engine of reality, the second son of fiction, whose power doesn't scream. It smiles. At first glance, Darwin is innocent, loving, and soft-spoken, yet beneath that warmth is a resume of feats that would give even the strongest beings in existence a run for their money. Darwin is a fish that has survived being shattered, erased, reduced to droplets, and turned into dust, and yet every time, he's come back like nothing's happened. In the crew, Darwin is blown apart like ceramic, shattered into fragments, and instantly reforms himself. In the procrastinators, he eats himself out of existence and then returns. That isn't just normal durability, that's resistance to existence erasure. With existence erasure being more potent than death, because there is no afterlife to travel to, you're just gone. But Darwin's never been one to give up, and he's always on his way. In The Secret, Darwin and Gumball are reduced to droplets by a molecular compression machine, essentially liquefied to their base components, and somehow reconstitute themselves without any effort. That's instant regeneration from molecular destruction. And if that wasn't enough, Darwin doesn't need his soul to survive. In another episode, he's literally separated from his soul and casually returns it back to his body.
I don't know why, but that reminds me of when Doctor Strange had hit Spider-Man and you saw Spider-Man's like body outside. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. In No Way Home, he literally like, and Spider-Man was like, and then he could still like move around and stuff. I know that's Spidey sense for Spider-Man, but for some reason it reminded me of that. I don't know why.
Separated from his soul and casually returns it back to his body. That means Darwin is capable of interacting with non-physical constructs and survive complete metaphysical severance. But let's go even further. This fish can breathe underwater and on land because, of course he can. Physics was a guest in Elmore and Darwin showed at the door. Darwin's combat is ridiculous as well. In The Remote and the Barrens, he goes head to head with Nicole Watterson, arguably the strongest character in the entire show, and holds his own long enough to survive. He even uses pacifist grappling techniques in the cage, and he can pull off hand-to-hand combat sequences that directly scale to Gumball's Street Fighter level brawling. A fish who grew legs that knows martial arts. Yeah, that's pretty terrifying. Scaling directly to Gumball is extremely impressive, but both of these brothers have shared most of their feats together. In one instance, Gumball and Darwin were late for school and ran so fast that they literally broke the screen and broke time itself. But it doesn't stop there, as both brothers realize they now have the ability to control time itself, as they literally slap the clock backwards and forwards, launching themselves through time, and even before time existed, before the creation of the universe, before the Big Bang. And both Gumball and Darwin stand there as the birth of the universe explodes. The Big Bang produces 90 duodecillion joules of energy, and I know that sounds like a big number, so let's break it down.
I feel like he's taking shots at me. That is a direct shot at me, bro, because I don't be knowing half the stuff he be saying. And I express that in every video. Some of these words don't make sense. Some of these numbers I've never heard of. So thank you, Official Devon. Thank you. Thank you for breaking it down for people with small brains like me.
The Big Bang produces 90 duodecillion joules of energy, and I know that sounds like a big number, so let's break it down. For comparison, the sun is so hot that it gives off enough energy every second to power Earth for 500,000 years, but it would take more than 1 octillion suns burning for 10 billion years each.
Octillion is 8 millions. Octopus has 8 legs, so octillion is 8 millions. I couldn't have been more wrong. Like, I couldn't have been more wrong, bro. A number equal to 1 followed by 27 zeros. Bro, I give up, bro. I give up trying to be smart these days, bro. It never works. It never works out for me.
The sun is so hot that it gives off enough energy every second to power Earth for 500,000 years, but it would take more than 1 octillion suns burning for 10 billion years each just to equal the energy of the Big Bang, which means the Big Bang would have enough energy to power Earth for over 1 billion trillion years, which is longer than the age of the universe itself. And this fish just shrugged it off like nothing happened. But it doesn't stop here, as Darwin is even able to exist between dreams, which is stated in the episode itself to be a place devoid of space and time, making Darwin's speed immeasurable. Darwin just sneezing, yes, just a sneeze, can obliterate hundreds of homes, launch Banana Joe and his entire family across the Pacific Ocean, and
Yo, you got me last time with that. They told me in the comments that they said that in the show, but you saying it just sounds so crazy because you know all these big words, but you saying Pacific Ocean, not Pacific, specific. So it's like, bro, are you trolling me? Like, am I getting trolled right now? He's trolling me, bro. He's trolling me. He knows he's smarter than me, but he's trying to make it seem like he's dumb. I know your tricks, Devon. I'm not falling for them.
Launch Banana Joe and his entire family across the Pacific Ocean, and send cars and trucks flying hundreds of feet into the air, meaning Darwin can destroy your entire livelihood just because he had a feather stuck between his gills. When he gets mad or emotionally triggered, Darwin becomes an elemental nightmare, capable of fire manipulation, sound-induced paralysis, and voice-based attacks so loud they can literally immobilize others. That's a full-on sound wave force that he does by accident, and when he screams his absolute head off, he can literally crack the cameraman's camera that we're watching the episode on. In terms of
So his scream can break the fourth wall. His scream is so powerful that it breaks reality. Is the fourth wall considered a reality or dimension? What is that like considered? So his scream can break through concepts. I didn't know it was a concept. That's actually kind of cool.
And when he screams his absolute head off, he can literally crack the cameraman's camera that we're watching the episode on. In terms of speed, Darwin scales directly to Gumball, who dodges lasers from Bobbert, who is stated to use real lasers, which would make him faster than light. But after doing this, it's kind of irrelevant. He moves alongside Nicole, who can blitz across town in seconds, and he reacts to fourth wall bending events in real time. This isn't speed in the traditional sense. This is narrative agility, the ability to operate even as reality bends. Darwin has tanked massive pain explosions, the destruction of Elmore High School, an energy blast that would disintegrate most life forms. But most importantly, Darwin survives transitions between genres, styles, and formats. In the Inquisition, when the show turns live action, he continues to function.
Who the fuck is this man? Who is that? And why is he on my screen, bro? This is not a children's cartoon anymore. This is a horror movie.
The show turns live action, he continues to function while everyone else glitches. That means Darwin has meta durability. He can survive not just in-story events, but changes to the story structure itself. He can stop time so he can finish reading a card. He has age manipulation, rapidly turning him and Gumball into elderly men just by talking. He has magnesium manipulation, fire bending, levitation, and teleportation. He can create and drive an invisible car with nothing but his pure imagination, meaning he has the power to generate matter and narrative outcomes purely through belief alone. Darwin is also a master manipulator, not through malice, but through emotion. He can guilt trip people into obedience, hypnotize them with his eyes, and use sheer empathy to overpower magical forces. In one episode, he broke through a love potion just by loving someone else more. He weaponizes guilt, overwhelms with affection, and softens gods with his soul. And he has a literal cute combo attack. Gotta love it. He also has
He's so cute, bro. Darwin is so cute. He's so happy and positive. Everybody needs a friend like Darwin. He's a great guy, or fish, or whatever you want to call him.
softens gods with his soul, and he has a literal cute combo attack. Gotta love it. He also has law manipulation, censoring an entire episode to prevent anything unpleasant from happening. That's right, Darwin can change the laws of his very own universe to enforce his peace. Even his perception is a weapon as well. In the others, he filters people out of reality simply because they're not important to him. In another episode, he ignores an alien apocalypse so hard that the apocalypse fixes itself. I mean, okay. He can absorb information by eating books, gain new dialects instantly. He can fuse with Gumball to become even stronger, and since Gumball is a Saiyan, it looks like they have their own version of Gogeta.
What's the form look like? What's the form? Did they release the form? I want to see what it looks like. It has to be cool, right?
He can fuse with Gumball to become even stronger, and since Gumball is a Saiyan, it looks like they have their own version of Gogeta. But Vegito is the GOAT, you can argue with the wall.
He's one of them. You're one of them. Divine. You know all this about all these shows and you're still wrong. You think Vegito is the GOAT over Gogeta? I don't know if I can trust him anymore. His opinion is invalid now. That's some bullshit.
Vegeta. But Vegito is the GOAT, you can argue with the wall. He can induce sleep with his eyes, manipulate dreams, and resist aging because the universe itself won't allow him to grow old. In the job, he's aware that Richard getting employed is causing time to rewind, so he adapts to it. Meaning Darwin perceives non-linear timelines like a plot twist. They don't affect him unless he allows them to. And probably the most terrifying part, Darwin might be able to end his own universe. Not with any weapons or screams or power-ups, but just by being too important to the story. He shares the protagonist status with Gumball, and if he were to vanish, the structure of the show would collapse. That means Darwin's existence is tethered not to his body, but to the narrative glue that holds Elmore together. If he ever chooses to leave, the show ends. Darwin isn't just a side character, he's a concept. His kindness scaled to apocalyptic levels, his friendship weaponized into a divine force, and probably the scariest part of all of this is that he doesn't even know it. Overall, Darwin would scale to fifth dimensional or low complex multiversal with immeasurable speed. And shout out to Alan who dropped 80 to sponsor this video. In the end, the amazing world of Gumball just wouldn't be complete without his brother. And I'm not saying that to be wholesome, it's literally the truth. He's one of the strongest, more than anyone can be. He grew legs to walk on land and buried gods in the sea. What's up, guys? It's Divine. If you guys...
So he is low complex multiversal. So right here. So he's up there. He's up there. He's not like one of the craziest, strongest people, but he's up there. He's definitely not weak at all.